Hey, what's up? And welcome back to Lunch Break Garage, where I basically spend my lunch break tinkering around, wrenching on whatever project I got going on. But today's going to be a little different. It's actually going to be more of an experiment. Alright, so today we're going to be working on this harmonic balancer here. This one, it's seen better days. You can actually just sort of spin it around and adjust the timing. Maybe not correctly, but it's shot basically. So I have a new one now. We're going to be putting it on. Now the caveat to this one is it's a little bit different. I've actually never messed with one like this before, and basically, well, it doesn't have a crank bolt. Not only is there no crank bolt, but it's not even threaded for a crank bolt to begin with. So this is basically just press fit at this point. So I've never done one like this before. Everything that I've ever touched always has a crank bolt, and you can use the thread and the crank to, use the installer to put it in. But, well, that's not an option here. Now, they do sell kits where you can tap the crank and, use a crank bolt. But, yeah, I don't know about that. So, instead, we're just going to do it by the book, by the manual, except not really. What we're going to end up doing is using a little bit of canned air. So, everything that I've seen online usually says that you need to heat up the harmonic balancer to make it swell a little bit so you can push it onto the crank itself without any damage. But the problem is, I did test that out with the old harmonic balancer. I did pull it off at one time, and basically I ruined the rubber because I overheated it tremendously. All right. Let's get our balancer here. Oh, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Hold on. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. I mean, it was already shot, so it wasn't that big a deal. It really was more of an experiment there. But I put that up on YouTube, and a viewer gave me a very good idea to use the canned air, turn it upside down, and basically freeze the crank snout instead of basically trying to ruin your harmonic balancer. Pretty much completely on its side at this point, so that's cool. Let's see. Where you at, George? There you go. Oh, look at that! It just slid on. Literally, just slid all the way on. I don't know. I really don't know if maybe it was a joke. I don't know, but it seems like a good idea to me, so I'm gonna give it a shot. So that being said, this is my lunch break. We do need to get working here. So the first thing we got to do is get this old harmonic balancer back off. All right, so basically what I did is I went to O'Reilly's and rented their little puller. It's very simple. Basically, find the screws that are included here that fit the dampener itself. This should screw right in. If not, what you can do is take one that's smaller than the holes on the dampener and just use a nut on the back. Just, put it through, put a nut on the back, and use that to pull instead of using the thread on the bolt. But these fit just fine, so we're going to use these. We'll go ahead and get this set up, and then we'll pull this bad boy off. Shouldn't be too hard since, well, I already did it one time, so. Now, the trick here is to try to get it as lined up as you can. You want it to come off pretty even. And it really, it just comes down to doing it by eye, really. There's no science here. It's just eyeball it. Get it as close as you can. All right. I'm going to use this guy that threads in here. There we go. All right, I'm going to grab a wrench. And then basically, once you got that on there, this one's a 3/4 inch bolt, and you're going to actually tighten the big bolt. And as you tighten, it will pull the harmonic balancer back off. And it really shouldn't be crazy hard. For me, it's actually really easy because, like I said, I have taken this off before. But I've seen people use, impacts and stuff like that. And on this application, I very well could just use an impact if I could even get it in there. I can't, so I'm using the wrench here. But if you want to be careful, just use a wrench, a socket, or a ratcheting wrench like I'm using here to pull it off. And you should be able to see it is coming off. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Once you get it all the way off, it'll just plop out. And there you go. It's out. All right, now that I got the harmonic balancer out of the way, I'm going to use this. I really don't even know when I got this, but I've had it for a little while. It's basically a way to pry out seals. I do have a new seal here, as you can see. Someone might have smeared some RTV on there previously. No idea who that would have been. But I'm going to see if I can get this out without messing up the timing cover, which I believe I might have just done. So that's cool. I'm thinking this RTV is keeping it from coming out here, so I'm going to use this pick. Let's see if I can't score that RTV. There we go. There we go. Man, somebody did a good job with this RTV. I might should have just left that in there. It probably would have been fine. Oh well, it's coming out now. Boink. There she goes. Woo-wee. We got some cleaning up to do. Okay, I went ahead and got that old seal out, and it looks a little bit rough in here. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if some of this is from me pulling it out with that little seal puller thing, because you can see right there and right there. I don't know, the whole thing is a little bit funky, even in places that didn't really touch it. So I don't know if maybe this has been replaced before, but either way, we've got the new seal here, ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and smear some RTV on the outside of it so it makes a decent seal. And then we're just gonna use this big old socket to drive it right in there. All right, try to get lined up the best I can here. And well, I'm just gonna try to send her home. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but there we go. That looks better. All right, we got the old seal out and the new seal back in. It's been sitting for about 10 minutes or so. Now it's time to finally get the harmonic balancer back on the crank here. And basically the idea is to get the crank snout as cold as possible by using this canned air. If you're not familiar, if you turn it upside down and spray, it's actually a really, really, really cold air that comes out of it. There's something going on, some sort of science, I don't know, but I know what makes it really cold. So the idea is to spray this on the crank snout for as long as I can possibly handle it, to get it as cold as possible and maybe shrink it a little bit. I have the harmonic balancer sitting out on the driveway, and it's been there for, I don't know, a couple hours now. So it should be good and warm, and with the crank snout good and cold, maybe that'll be the magic combination to get this thing to slide on as easily as possible. And if for whatever reason we don't give it all the way on, it's perfectly fine, because got a piece of wood and a hammer, and we'll hammer the rest of the way home. All right, so here it is. Literally just kind of chilling out here in the driveway. So let's go ahead and pick that bad boy up. I can feel the heat through the glove a little bit, so that's good. I wish I had some sort of temp gun or something so I can see exactly how warm it is. But it's pretty warm. All right, here we go. Let's spray her down. Let's see, how can I even do this? Whoa. Okay, that's it's just about empty now. And that can is very, very cold. So now, let's see if this bad boy will slide on. Get the ice off of it. Oh, golly. Sucker's hot in my hand here. All right, let's line it up. Maybe turn it the right direction, that'd be good. Oh yeah, it slid on a little bit. All right, let's hammer this bad boy the rest of the way home, shall we? All right, and just like that, the harmonic balancer is back on. That's going to be it for this video. Honestly, I think the only thing that I would do differently if I had to do it again is I would probably warm up that harmonic balancer just a little bit more. Maybe throwing it in the oven for like 5 minutes or something on 350. Just something to get it a little bit hotter, a little more swollen. I mean, it did go on, you know, not terribly, but in testing before with the old one, when I had it way too hot, it literally just slid all the way on. So I'm sure there's some a happy medium in there somewhere, but unfortunately I didn't quite find it. But we got it done. It's in the truck. It's ready to go, and I'm ready to start putting this thing back together. So if you guys like this video, please let me know. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until the next time, you have a good one. I'll see y'all later.